Thank you everyone for having me here for the HR forum. Like Kathy said, I am a traditional designer, so I'm probably the one person on the panel that is not an HR practitioner. But I think that's an advantage as well too, because I'm coming at it from a different perspective, and I see things or see opportunities within HR in a different way. Just to give a little backstory, 5 years ago, design was a new thing for IBM to take in. There's been design practices within IBM in different iterations, from Charles Ray Eames to several other famous designers that have done things for IBM. But 5 years ago, Phil Gilbert, our general manager of design at IBM, was tapped to bring the practice of design as a formal discipline within IBM. And I was a part of that initial startup, and we were tapped to actually kind of prototype an experience of how can we bring design into HR. And so we actually prototype a new experience called Career Conversations that actually help IBMers around the world understand what is their career journey at IBM and what are the resources that help them in their career journey along the way as well too. Because we are 166 countries, 366,000 people, so there's many opportunities to actually travel and have a journey within IBM. And so with that prototype, we actually became a actual full team called the HR design team, and we actually sit underneath what we call the HR talent organization at IBM, but we actually work across the entire HR org. And so that's where we kind of sit at, so that we can sitting across the entire org allows us to operate with a nonpartisan way across any other team. So we're not actually tapped with one actual team within IBM, within the HR organization. And all my team members are all designers. So none of us are HR practitioners. We are all design thinking leaders within the organization. I'm a HR leader, design thinking leader. We have some coaches, and we have some other ones as well too on our team as well. And so today I'm going to talk about that, what is enterprise design thinking, and going to follow that up is how we are applying it in HR and how you can apply that within HR too. And then finally, like Kathy said, I'm going to help you all get started. I'm going to give you all some resources to so you can actually go home and actually start understanding and learning what our framework is about. So what is enterprise design thinking? It is a little bit different than what you see out there with IDEO and other organizations that have adopted design thinking. We had to adopt design thinking because of the scale of our company. Again, 366,000 people, 166 countries. We all work across the borders. Most of our teams are not in the same place. So we have to have a framework that helps us be able to collaborate together. And so what I'd like to start off with is what it's not. It's not a process. It's not just for designers. Unfortunately, design was stuck in as the name of what this framework is. But it is that. It is framework. And it's a framework that helps us get things done. It helps us solve problems. It helps us pursue opportunities. It helps us innovate. And it helps us keep things moving forward. And help us keep things moving forward to help us get things done. And that's an important part of design thinking, is that sometimes projects get started, but they never really get done. But it also is a way of how do we get things done that actually help us create better experiences and know when that experience is better for our employees as well too. But in a way, it's a way that helps us enable speed and constantly deliver new value and ensure minimal risk as well too. And these are different ways of thinking about how we do our projects day to day within HR. Why we should practice it is, I think this is the most important part from my experience in working within the HR organization at IBM, is that it takes us from being process developers to actual experienced architects. And that's a huge difference. HR has a lot of policies, legalities, and things that go along with it, which are extremely important. But from our experience, from our day-to-day job, not just my experience at IBM, but even like any job or any career that I've had at a company, we all know when a new policy comes down, it's just like, here's our new policy, and it's like a book that just slams your desk, and it's like, all right, we can't do that anymore. Like, there's a better way to implement a policy to your employees to like help it make it a better experience for them. And so that they actually enjoy the experience, but also give you as the HR practitioner room to change that policy, room to like actually maneuver and like alter it so that it's like actually improving the experience along the way. So in traditional, there's a difference between traditional thinking and that design thinking. And one of them is like the annual review cycle. We all have the performance review. It only happens at the end of the year. But what if we change that but here's another thing where, there are 15 options for a 401k plan that's been put out there for employees to choose from. Or there is a manager design onboarding strategy. It's been created by a manager, and they've been like, iterate or like actually using the same thing over and over again. So if we go back up to the first one with the annual review cycle, what if that was a timely, continuous feedback? Like how do we help managers be able to like have open, empowering conversations with their employees in a timely manner? Instead of 15 options for a 401k plan, what if it was top 3 options that offered the best experiences, best performance for that individual employee? So the employee is in control of the options that they have for their 401k plan. Instead of a manager design onboarding, what if it was a highly engaged 90-day collaborative onboarding experience? We all know that onboarding, like there's plenty of statistics out there that says like the first 60 to 90 days of an employee, the first days at work are the most important. And if they suck, then it's most likely the employee is going to leave then. So how do we make that an engaging experience so that they actually know that they are welcomed and that they are like a part of the welcoming part of the company? To implement this, we just can't use design thinking. We're also using Agile as a practice. And the great thing about design thinking is that it helps us do the right work. And Agile actually helps us doing the work right. And that sweet spot where these cross over is where these things come together and create the best experiences for the work that you're doing. And most importantly, that sweet spot is where that radical collaboration happens as well too. So it's not just me as a practicing designer building these experiences. It's me working with offering managers, sales, marketing. Within the HR space, it's me working with analytics, compensation, talent acquisition. What project can we all be working together on, have a common language, and have a common goal that we can all move down the same path to create a great experience for IBMers? This is for those who don't know, there's Moti. He's this amazing design thinking guru, and he has this awesome quote. And it's all about dichotomies. It's about building great, having this magical balance between business and art, structure and chaos, intuition and logic, concept, execution, playfulness, formality, and control and empowerment. Those are the things that we have to deal with within design thinking. It becomes like, how can we be innovative but still meet the business goals? And then finally, this is how you can get started. These are the resources that we have that are open source. This is something that is a great thing about working at IBM. We are open sourcing a lot of our things out there. One of them is design thinking. And we have a getting started with enterprise design thinking. You can get a practitioner badge. So you can become familiar with our framework and our principles around design thinking. And there's great resources about some of the articles we're doing design thinking within our actual HR practices. So thank you very much for listening. Hopefully that's a good setup for our Q&A later at the end. Thank you.